Howdy Texans, just want to give you a quick explanation of the NHS teacher suggested office hours so that you have a verbal explanation and that you also have it here printed and in writing to refer back to. We want to put some context with this. So we went back and forth as the admin team discussing whether or not we wanted to provide you a lot of structure and guidance with office hours or whether we wanted to just loosey-goosey let you pick your own. And we had quite a bit of discussion about that and ultimately came down to be a really good idea for us to provide a structure and then allow you the flexibility to change that around as you need to, as your needs and your student needs determine. So what we have here, and Cindy put this together for us, and I hope you like it. It's real easy to read. So if you look in the schedule boxes that we have here, you have Monday, we're going to see our 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th period classes. And so you'll notice that those are in line with our regular bell schedule. We did that because we thought the students would find it easier to refer back to. If I'm a student and I'm looking at the Monday schedule, I know that my afternoon classes are available, and they're available when I had those classes when I was in the brick and mortar building. So those would be your suggested office hours. So the definition of the office hour is a time that you're available to parents and students by email, by phone, by Zoom, whatever it is that you're doing. Also, we put in if you are in an ARD meeting during that time, we'll let you count that as an office hour time. We'll make sure that we're accommodating your needs there. And so this is a time that you make yourself available to your students. So let's say you have a conflict. Let's say that you are you've got small children at home, and your little baby, I've used this example before, your little baby first grader wants to meet with her teacher during that time. And it's 5th period, and they're having this meeting at 1 o'clock, and that directly conflicts with your 5th period class. Well, you can post a notification on your Moodle page for your students to see and say, hey, 5th period, I'm actually not going to be immediately available during 5th period. I'm going to shift my office hour over to this and such time. And it can be in the morning, it could be later that afternoon, whatever you think is appropriate for your students to access you. So you are able to flex those office hours around so that your students know that, one, you're available, and 2, so that you can resolve any conflicts that you have going on in your own home too. We want to provide a structure for you, but also be able to provide you with the flexibility that you need, because essentially you're teaching out of your home right now, and we know that when you're at home you have lots of things pulling you in lots of different directions, and so teaching is not the only thing that you're doing. So if you look at this model again, so we've got the Monday, you have the afternoon classes. Tuesday you have the morning classes. So first period starts at 8:40, just like it would if we were in the brick and mortar building. Second period starts at 10:05. You notice you've got the little advisory break in there. That's just some downtime for you, and you're able to do what you need to do. Third period is going to be at 11:05, the normal time, and then fourth period 11:55. And so then Wednesday you see your afternoon classes, Thursday you see your morning once again, and then Friday is all conference and planning, and then of course we also have our faculty meetings on Friday. Now, questions have been asked. Do we have to follow this exactly to the letter? I think I've already stated that. You can flex that as you need to. One person asked the question, so when I'm not doing my 4 office hours, when I'm not doing those 4 hours of required time, do I have to feel guilty if I want to run my 80-year-old mother to the grocery store? You do not. You can go do that. You can go take care of what you need to do. If on Tuesday you finish doing your 4 hours, your 4 office hours in the morning, and you need to help your kids do their homework, then you can do that in the afternoon. So it's a good flexible way for you to be able to balance the expectations of work and also the things that you have going on in your life outside of school. And then the last thing that I wanted to tell you is this. You've got to set boundaries for yourself. I have learned this already just in my experience with the remote learning and leading a school remotely, you can let this absolutely eat up your entire life if you don't put some boundaries in place. Please, please, please take care of yourself and put boundaries in place. Now, board policy puts boundaries in place in terms of when you can communicate with students. And if you don't know what those times are, look them up. In fact, off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure they're 6 a.m. and you can't be communicating with students after, I think it's 9 or 10 p.m. I would recommend don't communicate with students before 7 a.m. and after 9 p.m. Limit that. I would really recommend that you kind of hold yourself to your normal school day hours and try to stay within those parameters and make yourself available to rest in the evening, rest on the weekends. I know we all do. We all do a lot of things that are outside of our normal school hours. But try to set some boundaries for yourself so that you have some time to rest, some time to be with family, some time to just put your feet up and relax, because if you don't, you'll let this thing eat your lunch 24/7, and that's not going to be healthy for you. Remember, Dr. Warren's #1 admonition to you, and I echo that, is take care of you so that you can take care of our kids. Let me know if you have questions about this. Hopefully you'll find this structure comforting, easy to work with, and just let us know what questions you have so that we can support you.